Still High.
Welcome to the first episode of Blue and Gray Today for this school year.
I'm your host, Isaiah Rory, and with me, your co-host,
Rebecca Gary.
Our lead story today deals with the hot topic, the dress code.
There have been many concerns about this from the students and staff.
Some believe that favoritism and even sexism have become an issue in dealing with the dress code.
Some at Steelton High think that the dress code is more important than the education.
The Blue and Gray Today crew has set up interviews and created surveys to investigate the story. We want all voices to be heard.
First, Blue and Gray Today's Mackenzie Poston spoke with Steelton High Superintendent Mr. Travis Waters.
Do you think that a female's appearance would be like a measure of who they are?
No, I think some people do believe that, but I don't believe it's a measure of who you are. But I do think there is a minimum level that you should be dressing as, but I don't think we should be judging people by the way they dress.
Do you think that the dress code punishment is too extreme? Like when you're pulling a student out of class for the dress code and you're having them suspended for it?
Personally, I like to limit suspension because I think kids need to be in class. But I think at the same time, if you have a dress code, and everyone knows what the dress code, it should be enforced, and you might have to remove someone out of class temporarily to get them to dress appropriately.
Next, Olivia Palermo and Mussarat Hussain talked with Principal Miss Catherine Gallagher.
The purpose of dress code is to make sure that our student population and staff represent our school well with pride and self-respect.
At this age in high school, when students are trying to figure out who they are and their sense of style or individuality, do you think dress code is stunting or restricting this process?
I believe that uniforms can restrict or stunt your growth as an individual in expressing yourself through your style. I don't believe that our dress code here is restricting because it's not a uniform policy.
Seeing that things like leggings, ripped jeans, etc. are not dangerous, violent, or profane, what is the purpose of actually restricting it?
The point is to help you guys prepare to be professional in the future and to respect yourselves and take school seriously now.
We also wanted to get the opinions of teachers. First up was 10th grade world culture teacher, Mr. Boyajian.
Do you feel like the principals are being more strict with girls than boys?
It appears that the dress code seems to be more female-oriented than male-oriented. So I don't think they're being more strict on girls than boys in how they enforce it. I think the code itself is more strict on girls than boys.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel it's right to give OSS or ISS for violating the dress code?
I think if it's repeatedly violated, yes. I think it should be a warning for the first time, and if you can't abide by that warning or you can't follow through, then there needs to be more consequences.
Next up, Isaiah interviews 10th grade English teacher Miss St. Hilaire.
You know, the dress code in this building, I understand the need for a dress code in general at a school. You know, the teachers have a dress code that they have to follow also. But in general, I do have issues with dress codes, and I have always had issues with dress codes. I feel like they target women more than men in general, and you know, that's just something that I think needs to be dealt with and addressed not only at our school but many schools across the United States.
You said you ask girls to put a shirt on. Do you ever ask guys to take their hood off or their do-rag or pull their pants up?
No, and so, you know, I agree. Like, that's where I say, like, I'm not crazy about dress codes in general. And quite honestly, you know, some of the terms of our dress code at our school, I personally don't agree with. I have to follow the rules the same way we all have to follow the rules, right? This is my job, and I have to do what my bosses tell me to do. But in general, I don't agree with those terms of the dress code, and I think that they target the female students more than they do the male students. And that has to do with our, you know, our sexist society and the way that women are kind of generally treated in our society. So I don't think it's an issue necessarily of our administration or our school, but an issue of our entire society and our entire culture.
Do you feel that the dress code is necessary?
I could see where parts of it are necessary. I can understand why, you know, it's encouraged to have hoods off and hats off in a building. It's a sign of respect, and it's easier to kind of see who it is that you're trying to talk to, or somebody has headphones in and that's why they're not answering you, you know, those kinds of things.
Lastly, Mackenzie interviews Steelton High math teacher Mr. Gable.
Do you feel like students can get distracted by what other students are wearing? Most time, no. It's one of those, truthfully, with the way society has ended up, everything you see here, you see in videos, you see on TV, you see everything. It's not like it's anything new. Some things, of course, can be distracting. You know, if you have a guy with muscle shirt, he might be distracting for some people. Girls with a real short skirt, same thing. So it's one of those, there's distractions on both sides.
Every student's opinions is important, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. I introduce you to Musart and Kendall Pryor with some questions for Alondra Soto and Tim Jackson.
Do you feel like some people get off of dress code compared to others?
Depends, certain groups do. Like, one of my friends had ripped jeans, she got dress code violated. We switched jeans and I didn't get nothing said to. So.
How do you feel about our dress code?
I feel like our dress code, there's some things that shouldn't be on there, really.
Alright, do the way other people dress affect your education?
Yes, sometimes.
How?
The teacher stops and they worry about the person's dress code instead about teaching others.
Alright, thank you.
Brianna Sullivan and Isaiah Rory surveyed students in grades 9 through 12 about their personal experiences with the dress code.
We first wanted to hear why we're dress coded, the most common violation being 30% of students said they were violated for ripped jeans.
73% believe the dress code is unfair.
20% of students have been sent home or to ISS. 80% of our students believe the dress code has no effect on running the school. Many students felt the schools worried more on dress code than education. Over half the students expressed this. Only 4% say the way people dress affect them.
In conclusion, because dress code is such a hot topic and something that affects most of us students, we wanted to bring the current dress code issue into the spotlight. As we interviewed more people and looked at the dress code from their different perspectives, it was hard not to notice the larger effect that dress code has on female students in comparison to male students. We also noticed this year that dress code seems to negatively get in the way of education, causing students to miss out on valuable class time and education time.
Thanks, Liv. Hopefully, in the near future, students, teachers, administrators, and parents can come to an agreement on a fair dress code for all.
Thank you for watching the first episode of Blue and Gray Today. Tune in next time for us looking in on roller basketball and eligibility. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm excited to go.
Signing off with Blue and Gray Today.
We have one final thought for you from Mr. Boyajian.
I think it doesn't matter what I wear as long as I'm there.
I think it doesn't matter what I wear as long as I'm there.
I think it doesn't matter what I wear as long as I'm there.